The 5-lead 4-bight Turks Head knot is a nice knot to tie, and I have a 5-lead 4-bight Turks Head knot already tied here with a single pass. And if we look at the knots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leads, 1, 2, back here is 3, and then there's 4 bights. It's a fun knot to tie, and if you're working with Turks Head and like to work with Turks Heads, it's a good knot to learn with. I worked with one person on the internet, and they were explaining that if you're working with Turks Head knots, if you understand how the knots are made and how the expansion processes work, it makes it a lot easier to tie Turks Head knots because you understand how the knot is made. The 5-lead 4-bight Turks Head knot is actually made up from another Turks Head knot. In this case, it's a 3-lead 2-bight Turks Head knot. So right here I have a 1, 2, 3 lead, 1, 2-bight Turks Head knot, and then we go through an expansion process, and after we go through the expansion process, we'll then have a 5-lead 4-bight Turks Head knot. If we continue with the expansion process, we can take the 5-lead 4-bight Turks Head knot, and then we can expand it to a 7-lead 6-bight Turks Head knot, which I've completed here. So this is a single pass 7-lead 6-bight Turks Head knot, and if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 leads, and then we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 bights. So in this series, what I'm going to show you in this video is how to tie the 3-lead 2-bight knot, which is this knot, and then we'll work that knot by an expansion process up to a 5-lead 4-bight knot, and that'll be the completion of this video. I'm going to tie a 5-lead 4-bight Turks Head knot, but first we'll do a 3-lead 2-bight knot, and then I'll show you how to expand to a 5-lead 4-bight knot. You'll have your dowel rubber band holding the standing end. While it's not necessary to have the rubber band holding the standing end, it does make it a little bit easier to tie the knot. To start, we'll go once around the back. Then we'll go across that lead on top. Then we'll come up across this lead so that you know that you're on a level with your starting lead. Your sequence then is to go under and over. So we'll go under, over. And as I stated in my previous videos, I like to work with 6 feet of rope cordage because I can go ahead and then double a knot if I want to when I finish. So sometimes this is a little bit longer and a little bit harder to work with, but it does make it easier if I want to go on and continue and double a knot. So we've gone under and then over, come around, we're back at the front again at the start. And we'll go under right next to the starting lead. When we do this, we've completed a 3-lead, 1, 2, 3 leads, 2 bights, 1, 2-bight Turks Head knot, and we could go ahead and double this knot and have a finished Turks Head knot. However, usually most people don't stop there, but it can be used as a complete knot. Now we're going to expand to a 5-lead 4-bight knot. To expand to the 5-lead 4-bight knot, we'll continue alongside of this starting lead, come up across this bight right here, and we'll go over. Then our sequence is to keep these 3 leads as they are, and our sequence is to go over, under, and over. So we'll go over, under, work out our kinks, over, under, over, come around the back, and we're now at our start again. These two leads have formed a pair, and once you've done this, you're going to need to split the pair. And since we went over, under, over, we're now going to go over, under, and over again, and we'll actually split that pair because this is a pair. So we'll split that pair. Take out our twists. Then we're going to follow this diagonal lead, and this time, since this will be our final pass, we're going to come up across this lead, go over top. Now we're back into the over-under sequence. So now, since we've gone over that lead, now we'll go under, over, under, and over. So we go under, and notice we're following that lead. Over, so we've gone under, over, we'll go under, over. Pull our cord through, and we'll take out the twists as we go. And then we're going to be back at our start. And since this is going over this one, we'll now go under the next one, and we're right beside our starting lead, so we know that we've completed our knot. So now if we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leads. 1, 2, 3, 4 bights. So this is a completed 5 lead, 4 bight Turks Head knot with a single pass. This is a completed 5 lead by 4 bight Turks Head knot, and I'm going to go ahead and double this. Now when you double the knot, your ending strand comes up beside the starting strand, and then it goes along beside that strand and parallels it, and wherever it goes, then the working strand will go along beside that, so that you end up with 2 leads side by side. And of course, in addition to doubling the knot, you can then also go through it a third time and triple the knot. One of the things that the beginning knotters will sometimes do is they'll do what's called as jump a lead, and that's where they'll come up to a situation like this, where the lead is here, and then they'll get mixed up, and instead of following the lead, they'll go off in a tangent. So instead of going here, which would be the right way, they'll go off this way. When you finish the knot, you'll have 2 strands or more strands that are together, and you'll be coming up for the ending strand, but then you'll have another strand that's left out here by itself and doesn't have a double. So that's one of the giveaways, is when you jump a lead or cross a lead when you're trying to double a knot. Now I'm going to work this back out, and then I'll continue on with doubling the knot. So I've come up with this lead, and then I'll continue to go on here. The 5-lead 4-bight knot isn't that big of a knot, so doubling it doesn't take as long as it would in some of the larger knots. Another thing that helps quite a bit is to have the lacing fit or lacing needle that you see here. And I'll be doing another video on how to make, where you can get some of these and how you can make quite a few of these inexpensively. Several options on that. But as you can tell, to do this, it's just a matter of sticking that in there, since this has got a nice pointed point on it. And then this will continue around, come through here. This is one of the reasons why I like to have a 6-foot strand, 6-foot piece of rope when I'm doing this, because when I get done, then I can just go right ahead and double the knot, take a look and see how it would look when it's doubled. And we're almost done. You see here how this end comes up, and now I'm coming back to the very start. And since I have 2 leads now, when I come back to start, I'll have 3. When we finish off the knot, what we would do is we would cut this end and hide it underneath that bight, cut the other end and hide it underneath that bight, so when you get finished you wouldn't be able to tell where the knot starts or ends. So once again, this is a 5-lead 4-bight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leads. They're doubled. 1, 2, 3, 4 bights. 5-lead 4-bight knot, Turks Head complete.